And then now I'm going to just stay in the crease only. We got plenty of other color. So I want to stay in the crease only. There. And it is definitely a rosy brown. It's very, very pretty. This is definitely a good palette for my green eyes. If you've got green eyes, anything that you can wear that has pink or purple really brings out the green. And I blend up just a little on this outer edge. Stay the concentrated color right there. And if you wanted to go into evening wear, you could add the dark, dark, dark purple. It's almost black. I don't think I'll do that today. I don't think I need it because this is already very dark. So you could, if you wanted to, some of you are like, Beth, that already looks too dark for me. You could just stay with right here. That's fine. I like to have definition, so I put a dark color in the crease. And of course, because of the hooded eye, it comes up a little, and that's okay with me. Again, we're making that line to make this V. There's the V. And now I'm going to go through the crease, and I try to look up so that the skin just grabs the color off of the brush. Trying to make sure the purple's coming out of about this pink. Yeah, that's it. Now, what I would say about that is, if you wanted to, you could either do this dark plum underneath or go with the color. I like to go with whatever the color is in the crease is what goes through the lashes. And I get it wet, and I just use my own spit because I don't share palettes. You should never share a palette anyway. So when people go, you used your spit, bacteria, like, there's bacteria in everything. So no, I don't think this is like some horrible piece of bacteria coming out of my mouth and going into that, because even just going from my eye to the palette and back is bacteria from my eye into the palette. If anything, my spit washes it off. No, I'm just kidding, it doesn't. You also can support the brow with that color, just the under arch. And that kind of brings it together. So this is a dark eye. Because I did use that dark crease. I could have not, and if I wanted to darken it even more, let me just show you what it would look like. It's not like I'm going anywhere, so I can just show y'all. I'm going to use I don't want to use that one. Hold on. I'll just use this. And the outer, no, I want to use something a little more precise. I'm going to go ahead and use this dark plum. It's going to be dark, I will tell you that. And I'm going to load the brush to get all the color, okay? You can always blend it back off, okay? I keep looking. See, that's why I don't like when you don't bother with a mirror. I think you're cheapening. And that is on purpose. They are cheapening. So the V is the only place you would put this super dark color. You will not bring it in. And see how that just darkens it up for the night, really. You can bring it up a little right there in the corner. That's it. And see, all that does is really intensify the look. That's all that it does. Now, once you've done all this, you definitely need to back it back off. So there's things you can do. If you want to make it look super glitzy, then go back to your highlighter and you can put it back under the brow and back on the lid, and it will be very, very dramatic color changes. I'm not going to do that. Because then, you know, this is kind of dark in this whole area, and you see a little bit of the light from the beginning, but since we've added, it's kind of also, you know, darkened up a little bit. But if you add the light color back, it's going to be even more pronounced. Why don't I just show you? Because isn't that the point? Isn't that why I'm here? Is to show you. Why is this? This is, you know what, guys? It may just be the case. This is a really tight closure piece. I mean, really tight. Okay, so let's go back to that highlight color. You could wet your brush, which will make it even more intense, or you can use your finger, which will make it even more intense. But I'm going to just put it right in the middle towards the front. I'll tell you what, this didn't lighten it up that much because it isn't that light. It's kind of a darker highlight. And again, you could do that up here as well. Just kind of, you know, and that kind of tones down the darkness, but it also makes a real difference between this, this, and this, and so it looks very makeup-y, which I have no problem with. Alright, and now I'm just going to use a blending brush. Let me make sure I've dusted it off good on my little... Yeah, a lot of fallout, just telling you. Almost all the time when you have a cheaper brand, it is going to be a lot of fallout. Because they haven't put into it the emollients and that they do, unless it is a cream, that the high-end ones do. You know, that there's some skincare involved or whatever. Wow, did that have fallout on the edge. That's all the blending I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to warn you about when you blend, especially dark colors. You're just going to turn it into a dark color. One dark color. No gradient. I want the gradient. I like the depth. Also, make sure that you have a dual fiber brush that you can brush off that fallout. You'll always have some when you have these kind of palettes. And also look up close, because that's when you can really see the fallout. Yeah, see, it was right there on the crux of the nose and right under the eye. Now, the fact that I powdered right before this made that very easy to come off. So that's another little tip and trick. There also needs to be some blending, I'm noticing, so I'm going to get a good blender brush on this edge. Okay, just going to blend that out. It's just too strong. And remember how I told you, then I use just the back of my hand, the meaty part of my hand, to just get that. See how it's gone too far down, and I'm just going to go up. Just a couple of passes. See how it just takes it off. But it's more of a natural look because it's just your skin. You know what I mean? And then also do the same right there, just to make sure this isn't too strong right by the nose. So this is a very strong look anyway. That's okay. That was intentional. Alright, then I also wanted a pinker toned lip product, and I also need to order my Chanel. But one that I know that is kind of an Old Faithful and it works. It has a little bit of a rosy undertone to it. This is the Maybelline Super Stay 24 Microflex Technology Anti-Transfer for 24 hours. In other words, waterproof, stays on. The color that I like is color number 055. And I think it says, hold on, let me get the little thing open. Perpetual Plum. This isn't that plum to me, is the thing. But it does have a little bit more pink undertone than a rust or peach or brown undertone. That's the tone. So let's put it on. I know I'm putting it on over something else that's freaking y'all out. Most YouTubers don't, and they have something new and it drives me crazy. I'm like, put it on! But what some people would say is, well, Beth, then this is not the true color. Yes, it is, because I'm going to put it on enough that it outdoes what's existing. And also, I kind of like the blend. Y'all feel free to blend your lip or eye products. It's your products. You don't have to stick with the color they gave you. If you want to blend out and say, well, I want to turn this into a whole new color, my color, and make up your own, and you don't tell anybody. That's not very nice. Share your wonderful secrets. Okay. Just trying to make sure I get it even. And you know what's so funny? I don't know if y'all do this, but especially when you're on camera, you see things that you don't see when I'm looking in the mirror. And so it's, people are like, did she even notice that that's not blended at all? That color is so overboard. Or I feel like this is just, it needs a little more blending, y'all. Don't want to overblend, but it just seems too dark. I helped a little bit. Okay. So once you put the color on, I let it sit for just a minute, and it doesn't need long. It dries very fast. That's what I do like about this. And then, just like the Chanel on the other end, it has the moisturizing. It sets it, and it makes it shiny. And it's like a little petroleum jelly stick, Vaseline stick. Piece came off. It melts down so easy because of the warmth. I just put it on there and kind of make it warm out on it. Just make sure you get a good even, there you go, good even blend across the lip. It's inexpensive. You can get it at your grocery store or your I got this at Walgreens, your drugstore, and I love it. So that is the look for the eyes and lips. Now, there were some other products that I got. I got this. Now, I already have this on, but I just wanted to remind y'all, L'Oreal Infallible makes a Matomatic crayon stick that, to me, is second to nothing. I mean, y'all know that I'm a huge fan of the IT Cosmetics No Tug Waterproof Liner. That was the first one I ever had, and I think they probably set the bar high, but people have come in behind them and made it a little more accessible. Now, you can get that at your local, I know Ulta, and I think actually Sephora does have that too, but or you can order it online. But you can get this at your grocery store or your drugstore, and that is L'Oreal products are very accessible and usually they're coming up in price to match these folks sometime, but usually they're at least a couple dollars cheaper, but usually they're a lot cheaper. And this Matomatic is, I can do both my waterline and my tight line in like one thing, one swoop. The other one that I've told y'all before that I also really like is the Wet n Wild breakup proof, and it's the same. It's waterproof. It goes on real smooth, and you can find it where you have Wet n Wild. You'd be surprised. Like my Walgreens does have Wet n Wild, and that's how I got this. And this is the breakup proof liner. So these two, they're both waterproof, retractable gel eyeliners. And I don't want to have to use a pencil sharpener. And I can keep this in my purse in case it, you know, even if it's waterproof and long wearing, sometimes it does detract throughout the day, or it gets in your tear duct, and you have to kind of clean that up with your finger or wipe it off on a tissue, and then all of a sudden you have none. So it is good. They're super skinny. You can put them in where your pens go in the little pocket inside your purse. Okay, the other thing that I was going to do was show you some, this liner. This is by Wet n Wild Breakup Proof Liquid Eyeliner, and it looks promising. We'll see. I'm fixing to go into part 3, and we'll also talk about the mascaras that I'm going to look at.